Hello, this is Media Realness, and I am Anansa,
Hi, I'm Aaron.
and welcome.
Yay!
What's up, what's up, what's up? Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
This is our third episode, but our first structured episode of how, our weekly episodes are gonna go.
Yeah, so basically, the general rule of our episodes are we're going to do whatever we want, but we want it to be done in an organized way, so we just
Organized
don't.
chaos.
Yeah, because I'm chaotic neutral and she's the good one.
Neutral good. This is my last
Yeah,
time I
that one.
checked.
So, yeah, so the way we're going to be doing it from week to week is we're going to have segments where we just talk about the happenings in the world, and this is our first segment of the show.
Also, excuse us a little bit. We're sick, so if we sound a little, if we hear a cough here and there or a sniffle, we're battling through some Dayquil realness.
Yeah, if you find us slipping, know that I am hella stoned on some syrup right now. You know what I mean? But I can't avoid that. That's life. We got to make these monies.
We gotta get it done. We're doing it for you.
Yeah, and we're doing it for us because we have a lot of fun doing it. Sick or not.
So let's get started. So our first segment is called His Girl Friday Realness, in which we will bring you all of the news and fandom and react to it. So our first news is the casting in Marvel. We have some big announcements. So we got after Civil War, we found out that Michael B. Jordan would be joining the cast of Black Panther.
Yes!
And then right after that, we found that Lupita was in talks to join the cast, which is what started the whole hashtag Black Panther so lit. Because it was like, yes, give us all of these beautiful black people.
And I love it because it's just so much talent. That's the thing that gets me about it the most, is just that everyone is so talented.
It's gonna be such a good movie. I'm so excited. And we all got so excited that someone started the rumor that John Boyega was joining.
I
and
know,
it's
I was
like we were just like, oh yes, bitch, yes, this movie's gonna be amazing. But sadly, John Boyega will not be joining us.
I was really into it. I was like Pam from Archer. I was like sploosh. I am there. And then I was like, no sploosh?
No
Aww.
sploosh.
But still sploosh.
But we still got Lupita. We still got Michael B. Jordan, which continues the collaboration that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan have started since Fruitvale Station. And then they continued it with Creed. And so they got a nice little Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese thing going on.
And that's precious, and we can never take away from those things. I just feel like when you find somebody that you can just work with, that's so beautiful. No matter what happens, you had a great fucking time. So let's love it. Let's shine in the light of Wakanda. You know? Let's breathe it in, America. And what is it? Florence Kasumba?
Yeah, she was the chief security in Civil War who was like, move or you will be moved. I haven't seen anything confirming that she's going to be in it, but she was the security chief, and she was the beginnings of the Dora Milaje, which is the all-female security branch of Wakanda that everyone's super excited for, which people think Lupita is going to be a part of.
I hope so. I sure hope so. I want a sand snake situation.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
That's one beautiful dark-skinned black woman kicking ass and just because that was one of the best parts of Civil War. She just walked up to him. She was like, move or you will be moved.
And she's talking to Natasha Romanoff, who everybody in the world knows Natasha Romanoff ain't no punk.
I know, Black Panther was just he looked at it, he was like, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, he was
that'd be hella interesting.
Yeah, I would love to see that, but I wouldn't love to see it right now.
Because I got things to do, so let's get it together.
I have that man to kill. We have stuff to do. So let's just keep going.
And more exciting, we got the Thor Ragnarok casting,
which is amazing.
I'm just super excited because Tessa Thompson, who was in Dear White People, she played Sam, and she was in Selma. She is going to be playing Valkyrie, and this is the first Black female lead that we are getting in a Marvel movie, and I'm so fucking excited.
I know.
I'm so, because like I love that actress. I think she's amazing, and like she might be a love interest for Thor because Natalie Portman's not coming back. Like they confirmed that Natalie Portman isn't coming back. So
and she's so beautiful.
She's so beautiful. So not only will it be a female lead, but like a romantic lead for a Black woman.
A beautiful one.
Which is so amazing and so important. Like,
like I'm just on this Black Girls Are Magic train. Like I'm really into it, and I just want this, and I need this. America needs this. The world needs it, really. So
yeah, and I feel like some people get mad when they're just like, oh, but she's being reduced to a romantic lead. Like, it's different for Black women who have always been desexualized and like put into the mammy trope where they're completely like non-sexed. Like, the reason it's not a trope for us is because it hasn't been run down to the point where it's just like, oh, she's just a romantic lead, because we've never been the romantic lead. Black women have never been loved on screen, so it's important for us to see that. Where like, as for white women, it feels like it's a reduced role, and you're not an independent woman, you're being like reduced to just like the side story that compels the male lead.
Yeah. And I think, like, for Black women specifically in, like, cinema, it's either you are a non-person who is sexualized, or you're a person who becomes a mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's no real in-between. And I'm so, like, on this train of, like, Black women being loved. I'm onto it. Like, Iris Allen West, I'm here for that. I love her. Candace is amazing on Twitter. If you don't follow her, please follow her. She's a
Candace
fucking hilarious.
Payton is hilarious. And like, it's just so important to see like a Black like, it's not just that Iris is Black, it's just the whole West family is Black.
Yeah.
So like, they're choosing to make Iris West, who we all know is Barry, it's Iris West Allen. Like, she's going to be with Barry Allen. She's going to be with the Flash. Making her Black means that Joe West is Black, which means Wally West is Black, who is Kid Flash. And like, you have this amazing dynamic. And it's like, them being Black is just like a part of their story, but it's their beautiful family dynamic. And it's just like, wow, I get to see this beautiful family dynamic, and they're Black. And I get to see like Black people achieve and be great and be happy and like live a beautiful story in life.
Yeah, and I love that they're all flawed characters too. And I love that their biggest flaw is that they can't mind their own business. They're like, were raised by detectives. You know what I mean? So like, Candace or Iris is always just like, but what about that though? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sorry for that side note, but I just love that. Black women being loved. Let's do it.
And Kate Blanchett and Jeff Goldblum are also joining, and Carl Urban, which I'm like, oh shit! Yes. Like, that is a pretty amazing cast.
Anything with Carl Urban. Really.
I love Carl Urban.
I just love looking at him. Just feeling his like. I just feel like he has this face that's like very scoffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's always like. And I just love that. I just love that about him. I think he's so beautiful, and he's very talented. Go watch Dredd if you haven't. Dread's amazing.
Kate Blanchett is always fantastic. That's why she has all those goddamn Oscar
nominations.
Like, she's
do I even have to go to the Oscars this year? You know what I mean?
Maggie Smith, stop going.
Like, for real. I just feel like Kate Blanchett's just like, I don't have any more shelves, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
And Jeff Goldblum's always fun to have.
I know. I just, like, can't handle him.
Why?
I don't know. He's just always just like, oh, it's Jeff I love you.
So then we also have It's Upfront season, which, if anyone doesn't know, it's the best time of the year for everyone who loves television.
Or the worst time of the year for everyone who loves television.
If your show gets canceled.
This is the Hunger Games, bitch, and some people don't make it. Let those cannons go off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry.
It's always an exciting time of the year, though.
Unfortunately, we have some cancellations.
We do have some cancellations.
For ABC. ABC has gone and broken my heart, you guys. Like, I'm so mad at ABC right now. Because they canceled Marvel's Agent Carter.
Oh, God.
And Peggy Carter is so important. And I love her, and Haley is
it was, like, critically acclaimed. People loved the show, but it just, like, wasn't getting the ratings that, like, ABC wanted. which then led them to they were going to do Marvel's Most Wanted with Hunter and Bobby from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they like put a kaboot to that too. And I don't know if like they did
Bobby
that.
And Hunter are so fine.
I know, and they left the show, so I don't know if they're going to come back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just lost 2 characters. Spoiler alert.
I feel like Marvel is like, I don't know how this TV ain't working the way TV's working for DC. So I just feel like Marvel's kind of like slowly pulling out.
Maybe.
And totally sticking it in Netflix. You know what I mean? Because Netflix knows how to make some good Marvel shows. Jessica Jones all day, every day.
Gallivant got canceled, which was like, I thought it was I thought it was so fun of a show. And like, they knew that they were like always on the outskirts and always like kind of like were meta in their songs with it. It was like a musical TV show, and they were just like, ooh, suck a cancellation bear. We did get a second season. So they always kind of knew. And like, Alan Menken does the music, who did all the music for like the Disney Renaissance movies that we all grew up with. And he tweeted that like Gallivant wasn't going to be over yet, and like some like weird things are in the mist for Gallivant. I think like he wants to do Broadway or something, because it's Alan Menken, he can make it happen.
Yeah, and it's like, I think Gallivant would survive a lot better on Broadway. I think it would be phenomenal. That would be so funny to go watch. Like, to just go roll one and go roll up to the theater. I think that would be so funny. And I've only seen one single part of Gallivant. I don't want to be a pretender to the, you know, the heirs of Gallivant, you know what I mean? But that one part was fucking hilarious. That one part made me laugh forever.
It was, Maybe You're Not the Worst Thing Ever.
It's like the settler's anthem. Like, when you're settling for some shit that you know you ain't right for, you just gotta be like, I guess you're not the worst thing ever. You know? Like,
great song. I love Gal. It's such a good show.
And that just leaves, like, I think that leaves only one TV musical on air right now, right?
My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which I don't watch, so.
I don't either, but I'm interested.
Like, I saw a tweet from Alana, and she was roommates with the girl who does My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. She was just like, 6 years ago we were like roommates in Brooklyn, and now we both got TV shows. And I was like, oh, yeah, started from the bottom, now we here. And then I think the saddest cancellation was Nashville, which unfortunately neither of us watched. Our best friend watches. She was super upset.
She was hurt. She was hurt.
She's country as fuck too.
Yeah, she's from the
and
great
she
state
loves
of Texas.
Connie Britton.
Yeah, Connie Britton is, because Connie Britton is so good.
Yeah, like, it's not like unfounded
Mrs.
love.
Coach forever. You know what I mean? She's amazing. Go watch Friday Night Lights again. Just go do it. Support Connie Britton in everything she does. But ABC just broke our hearts. CBS kind of met our expectations.
Yeah, I mean, like, they got rid of CSI Cyber, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, okay. And they're moving Supergirl to CW, which is where I feel like just fixing a mistake that.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what? No.
This isn't working. And like, I feel like they thought Supergirl was going to make CBS Access happen.
Yeah,
but it like made, like, I haven't seen an episode of Supergirl because it's not on Hulu, and I'm just like, well, you obviously don't want me to watch it. Exactly. Then like, you don't have it. Like, you're like, I'm not gonna spend money on another, like, I feel like the only people, like, I have Amazon, I have Hulu, I have Netflix. I feel like the only
like all of them.
Network that could have possibly pulled that off at this point, that I would have even considered paying for a separate thing, is ABC.
Yeah.
Because ABC has Shonda Thursday, ABC has Marvel, ABC has Blackish and Fresh Off the Boat. Like, they have quality television shows that I would have been like, you're a fucking asshole, ABC.
Yeah, but I'm here.
But I mean, I gotta watch Grace.
Like, show up every Thursday / Friday morning. You know what I mean? Like, I
feel like CBS doesn't have that kind of marketing, which is why they're doing the Star Trek thing, which we'll discuss at a later time. Yes.
Like, things like Mike and Molly and Person of Interest, like, stuff like that, I kind of didn't expect to make it past this year, you know? So, I feel that.
Fox is grandfathered in The Grinder, I thought, like, because they actually had pretty good ratings.
Yeah, and they had good marketing,
and
too.
They had Rob Lowe and
who's hilarious.
John Stamos, so I figured, like, oh, that has something, so.
I love how Rob Lowe only acts as Rob Lowe. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, but my name is no longer Rob Lowe, that's him acting. But I'm still Rob Lowe.
Mm-hmm. And then the Mysteries of Laura and Hannibal, which Hannibal had a only 13 episodes, so we found that out in like January. But
Hannibal
which is
was
super
such
sad.
like a niche kind of thing. It was like
but
TV
I thought it was
horror,
such a good show,
and it was so beautifully designed.
Oh, the art design was phenomenal in that.
Like there's
and they got my ass with like
could be paintings.
Like they did that thing where like when they know they're a niche thing, it's fandom, so they're just like, we're gonna get Richard Armitage because those bitches on Tumblr love him. And I was like, and I only watched Hannibal because I saw that Richard Armitage was cast in the 3rd season. I was like, really? I'm about to go watch this fucking show for this man.
And she, like, Anansa does not like horror.
I don't.
Like, it's not like horror, bloody, gory, whatever. She's just not a fan. But for Richard Armitage fine ass, she will be a fan.
I was, and I did, but I also just enjoyed the show. The show was very well written, and the art, as you said, the art design is fucking phenomenal.
The art design kills me. I'm not, like, I love horror, gore, like, I love that shit. But I love art the most. So, like, that's, like, some art masturbation shit right there. Like, that, there's this one episode of Hannibal where this man, it's in the 1st season, this man is killing bitches to grow mushrooms. And,
yeah.
And I was like, I'm living for this Poison Ivy ass-esque, like, beautiful ass art design. It's creepy, it's gross, but it's beautiful.
Which is an art to make something like disgusting like that, like
beautiful. Like I could be Bob Ross and paint that, and someone would buy it. You know what I mean? So goodbye, Hannibal. We're gonna miss you, baby girl. See you on the other side.
For all the canceled shows. So then we got our new shows. And
wait, one final thing about the cancellations. America's Next Top Model.
Oh yeah.
Was canceled, and everyone
was it canceled, or was it like we're
dropped.
Ending?
I think it was dropped.
I thought it was like they all decided like, yeah, this is the end.
Like we're done, and we were all like, "Hey, the evil has been defeated." You know, like we were all like,
some people still liked it. Like,
I mean, yeah, but I feel like it's like a generational show. Like I loved America's Next Top Model season, like cycle 6, cycle 7. That's when I was in that stage of like, I really want to watch these pretty people just fuck up. That's like all I want to do is watch these pretty people fuck up, and then at the end look at these pictures and judge them like I know them. But then like going into college, I just kind of like lost interest in that sort of like
I feel like a lot of people, which is why they like added The Boys, because they were just like, oh, that'll like bring in some new people, which brought my ass back in. I watched from season like cycle 1 to 10, and then I was over it, and then I was like, oh, they got boys now, and I did come back. So I did come back for that, but it's being like it was canceled or it was dropped or it ended, whatever.
It's
and then
Castiel'd by VH1.
And yeah, VH1
lifted it up from heaven.
But Tyra Banks isn't going to be on it, so it's like.
I mean, people will still come. Like I feel like they'll have some celebrity ass guest judges, and it'll all be fine. We'll all still be here for the go-sees and the messes, and watching people fall in high heels is always fun. So. Let's move on.
For new shows, this NBC show called This Is Us somehow, like, I watched the trailer, and it got 34, and the only reason I watched the trailer is because it was trending on Facebook, and it was like 34 million views on Facebook, and I watched it, and I was like, I don't want to say unimpressed, but I was like, I don't get it. Like, it's supposed to be a show about, like, all these people who were born on the same day in their lives, and I was like, all right.
Which is
what
like,
else? Like
it's a beautiful idea, but like it's not sensei. You know?
Yeah, I didn't understand like what the big thing about it was, but.
And Sense8 is beautiful. If you want to watch something amazing that's worth 34 million views on Facebook, go watch Sense8. I'm like the jury's still out about This Is Us. I didn't know. I just watched the trailer and I was just like, oh, all right, I just didn't, it's like enough to be trending on Facebook. Like, I'm not trying to like hate on it or anything like that. I'm just like, but like, why? Yeah, like it didn't like make me be like, oh shit, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know? Not at all.
Aaron's looking at my notes because I prepare the news segments for. I prepare the news segments, and he's looking at the notes, and the next notes just says Fox Scream Queen somehow got renewed. Because I mean, really.
Oh, that show is so messy.
It was so bad.
And like, I live for messy shit like that. Like, I think it's so funny. And even after like for episode 4, I was just like, nope, can't do it anymore.
It was so stupid. Like, I didn't watch it. My mother was watching it, and I remember just like laying on the couch as she was watching it while I was on my phone, and just like kind of hearing it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? like
it's very Ryan Murphy, though. It's very Ryan Murphy's style of writing with like really good zingers.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, you have to give him his snaps for that, because some people can't write zingers to save their fucking life. But that's all you can do.
Because, like, when he writes these zingers, he writes them and, like, then everything becomes a zinger, so then they become, like, two-dimensional characters where it's just, like, no one actually talks like this.
Yeah. And
like,
it's not cohesive enough to be Gilmore Girls, where no one actually talks like that, but I believe that these two people do. Because they drink so much coffee. You know, but like Scream Queen, sorry,
like she was
like killing me.
Her boyfriend was like genuinely upset. She's like, we can't be together anymore. You're not popular. And it's like, who says? No one says that.
It's just like everyone was a caricature. The art design was okay.
I didn't care. Like, I just
Jamie
didn't
Lee Curtis
care.
was there. Nick Jonas was cute and gay, like he is in real life, and that was about it.
That was it. Then ABC has lost their goddamn mind.
I love it. I kind of love it, though. I love that ABC is losing their fucking mind, because they just, honestly...
I feel like ABC just, like, I mean, it's owned by Disney. Disney's just like, try us. We own Marvel and Star Wars. Like, what?
And
what are we gonna do?
I also feel like ABC is just kind of like...
You want
to
show?
There.
Yeah,
put
like,
it out there. Let's just
we'll see what happens. Like, that's what happened with Gallivant. I mean, like, Gallivant did get 2 seasons. When, like, I feel like ABC was just like, fuck it, we have money to spend.
Yeah, like, we've conquered the world by now, so it's like, what do we do now?
I feel like with
change some rules.
not like Star Wars, Marvel, and Shonda. Like,
yeah, where are we going?
I feel like Shonda pays for all of the other shows.
Yeah, Shonda's here to be like writing checks for ABC to be like, yeah, you can do your dumb dog movie. Whatever.
Yeah, one of the shows is called Downward Dog, and it's like about a woman and her dog, and the dog has like monologue-esque office. Where
he just like talks about his like daily life and how he's gonna nap for like 14 hours and how he's so busy.
The
and
cat's after him.
She goes home. She just goes out and drives around the car all day, like having fun. I'm the backbone of this house, you know, and I love it. I'm into it. I'm excited to see if it makes any fucking sense. Like, I want to see
I want to see how long that can, like, sustain itself. Like, what's the story for that? Because, like, it's one of those shows like Last Man's Alive or whatever that show is, where it's just like, that's an interesting concept, but then what do we do?
Last Man Alive? Because he wasn't.
He wasn't. It was like 2 episodes in, and it's just like, no, there's other people.
Yeah, like, you thought. It was an interesting... It's like a concept show. We have to see how the concept is put forward. And then, because it could be amazingly funny, but it could also be the slowest, dumbest thing you've ever seen.
Then there's Imaginary Mary, where it's like this woman is dating a man who has kids, and her imaginary friend comes back and is just like, I'm here too. And it's the weirdest looking thing. Like, Google Imaginary Mary and like look at this imaginary friend. It's the weirdest, like, it's like a square. It's like the square
where
thing.
The Wild Things Are plus Frosted Mini Wheats. Like, plus like the Minions.
Yeah, it's just...
Who was the design team? Like, that's what I want to know. Who put that Frosty Mini Wheat ass motherfucker together and was just like, that's the one?
And I feel bad because it's the actress, the SNL actress, whose name I don't remember at the moment, but it's the one she's always said that, like, she doesn't get a lot of roles because she's not conventionally pretty. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, she gets the voice of an imaginary character.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, a fuzzy little thing. But I'm going to support her in this, you know. I'm going to try to see if it's funny because there's, like, what's that dog one? Wilford?
Mm-hmm. Willard? Oh, with, Elijah Wood.
Yeah, like that was weird as shit. I watched it in a hotel room at night once, and I was like, am I gonna get murdered? Because that was the vibes it was giving me. But like, it was actually really fucking funny. So we just have to see where it lands on that one. The next one is still Star-Crossed, which I'm interested in.
I mean, it's it's backed by Shonda, so it's part of Shondaland.
I mean, if Shonda's steering the ship, then I'm here.
Shonda's stamp of approval. It's about what happens after Romeo and Juliet. It's about Rosaline. And she has to marry Benvolio, and she doesn't want to. Yeah. And I don't know if it's colorblind casting or like what Rosaline is cast as a black woman. Rosalind, sorry. Yeah. Rosalind is cast as a black woman, and Benvolio's white, but then the prince she wants to marry is also black.
Yeah, and I'm down for that. Like, I'm really.
But then,
down for that.
The Capulets are played by Anthony Head. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, and Rosalind, what's her name? Rosalind is a Capulet. So I'm just like, is it colorblind casting? Is Juliet
colorblind casting?
Is Juliet like the white side of the family? Like,
yeah, I guess.
Is that
Juliet was the star-crossed lady who died?
But then, like, in the trailer, you see, like, Romeo's black.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then Benvolio's his cousin, but, like, Benvolio's white. So I'm just like, is it like Cinderella colorblind casting? What are we doing? I don't know. Like,
Rodgers
but I'm here.
And Emerson's Cinderella with Brandy taught me so much about not being a racist. Like, I remember being a child and that shit came on Disney Channel, and I thought it was a DCOM. It's not. And I was just like, yo, that's a black woman and a white man, and they made a Filipino boy. Believe it. I believe it. Yes.
We're here.
Because Whoopi was playing Mama overbearing, and what's his face?
Anthony Head. Was it Anthony Head again?
Is it? Yeah.
It might actually.
I think it might be. Yeah. He was playing daddy who don't give a shit because his wife cares enough for both of them, and we were all here for it. And anything with Whitney Houston singing Impossible, I'm down. So I'm very interested in Still Star-Crossed because possible.
No, it's Victor Garber.
Victor Garber. Oh yeah, you're right. He went down with the Titanic. I'm very interested in colorblind casting. I'm kind of interested in the storyline, but it's one of those things where it's just like, this is like, you are coming off of Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. So you are not only coming off of it, you're detouring. Like, Shakespeare ended and you're like, let's keep going. Let's keep the show going. So we're really going to see how plot holds up here.
Yeah. And then CBS continues to be the worst. Like, I didn't see anything that was, like, new. It was, like, really just, Survivor, The Big Bang Theory, like, nothing interesting, which is why
CBS continues to, like, rest on its laurels, but its laurels are made entirely out of mediocrity.
I know, like, and I'm just like, what are we doing, CBS? They're putting all of their baskets in this Star Trek show, and I'm so bad about it. I'm so bad. CW, there was no real changes either, like, just till mid-season. Like, the originals, The 100, iZombie, and Reign will all be coming in mid-season. Everything else is the same. We'll have Supergirl, The Flash, The Arrow. And then we're getting a new show, which is a live Archie comic called Riverdale. And I watched the trailer and I was like, this just feels like Gossip Girl with leather jackets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't see Archie comic in this at all.
I feel like they were just like, what's something nobody's done that we can compare it to? Yeah, that's about, yeah. I didn't feel Archie. There was no Archie present here. I don't know what you were talking about.
So yeah, I feel like that's the end for His Girlfriend and Realness.
Yeah, so if you have anything that you would like us to cover, or you think something special has happened that you just feel like needs to be discussed in His Girl Friday Realness, you can send us an email at mediarealness@gmail.com.
Yes. So we'll move on to our next segment, which is Aaron's segment that he's always so excited about.
Okay, so just a little background information about this. The only reason that I thought of this segment is because I wanted to call a segment Netflix and Chill. Like, I just think Netflix and chill is such a funny way of saying, let's do it. You know? And I was like, okay, I just want to say that on the weekly basis.
I just love that, like news outlets, like, kind of found it, and they were just like, do you want to Netflix and chill? Are you gonna Netflix and chill?
I know.
And it was like, do you realize you're just saying, like, are you gonna fuck this weekend? Are you gonna fuck this?
Yeah, for real.
And there was, like, always the one person that they interview who was just like, that's exactly my plan.
Planning on it. I'm planning on, yes. So, this is what the "Are you still watching" button is made for. You know what I mean? Are you fucking? Like, that's Netflix. That's what that seems always to me. Is like, are you fucking? And I'm like, Netflix, mind your business. While I blush, you know. But Netflix and chill realness is basically just, I'm gonna pick a movie that's on Netflix, and we're gonna talk about it, because who doesn't have access to Netflix? So
you can get someone's password.
Exactly, and if not, there's
honestly,
a free
you
trial.
Can, like, there's a free trial. Honestly, if you really want to follow along with us, email us. We'll give you a password.
Yeah, for real. Like, and it's the sort of thing where it's just like this collection of so many good things and so many not good things, and I want to talk about them all. I want to celebrate the triumphs of, you know, the world, and also laugh at the really bad shit. Like, who put the sequel here? You know, who made this and sent it straight to TV? You know, straight to DVD. So this week's Netflix and chill is Bring It On. And Bring It On is a very special fucking movie. If you have not seen Bring It On, where were you in 2000? Like, where were you?
I feel like we all saw Bring It On when we were way too young.
I was 10 years old.
I was 8. And I definitely saw it in theaters.
And
I remember being hella confused when, like, he picks her up in the chair, and she's like, "Stop!" and he smells it. Something. I was like, was that in her butt? Like, I was
just
so
poke her in the butt?
Confused.
Why would he smell it if he poked her in the butt? Like, that's how. Yeah, I was too young.
We were too young.
Bring It On it came out in 2000. What's your favorite cheer from the movie? Because Bring It On has amazing, funny cheers.
You tried to steal our bit, but you look like shit, because we're the ones who were down with it. Yes. I haven't seen that movie so long, but I still remember. I can still do the opening cheer.
Yeah, the opening cheer is so much fun. Let's start. Let's do a little bit. Let's give them a little bit.
We're sexy. We're cute. We're popular to boot. We're bitchin'. Great hair. The boys all love to stare. I'm wanted. I'm hot. I'm everything you're not.
I, like, anytime someone starts, like, "Burr, it's cold in here," I'm like, there must be some Clovers in there.
I'm black. I was like, Clovers, bitch. Clovers all day. You think a white girl came up with that? Ooh, Clovers.
I love this movie. It brought upon a great racial discourse at the age of 10.
I remember thinking, like, I didn't think the Clovers were wrong, but I definitely thought, I was like, when she ripped up the check and stuff, I was like, oh, damn, you got some real feelings about this. Like, you're kind of being mean, but now I'm just like, bitch, fuck it up!
Yeah, like...
Fuck her money!
At that time, you were just kind of like, girl, just take it and go. But now that you're, like, woke, you're like, huh, fuck that white bitch. Fuck her! And all her money and all her resources, and she still couldn't win without stealing from me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just, like, I love those cheers. I think the cheers are so funny. And, like, it made me think of, like, high school for me. My best friend was a cheerleader. Shout out to Penny. She's adorable. And she just reminded me of a couple cheers that were my favorite. The first one was our basketball cheer. The basketball cheer was PUTITIN, put it in.
Oh.
And I was like,
that sounds nasty.
Are we just gonna... And I remember looking around being like, is no one...
That sounds nasty.
No one's gonna... That's a penis. You know? And then the other one was, put your man on his back, lay him flat on the mat. And I was like, damn, that's wrestling. And I was for the wrestlers, obviously. So... I love cheerleading movies. They're so fun. And Bring It On has sparked so many sequels. that, like...
I've seen none of.
I have seen all of them. And most of them are horrible. Like,
Aaron does this thing where he likes to watch good, bad things, and I'm like, why are you wasting your time? Like, like I always text him, like, what are you watching? He's just like, what is it? Not She's All That.
That movie with Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Just Like Heaven?
Just like, I'm like...
with Mark Ruffalo? You're welcome. You should look it up.
I'm just like, why? And he's just like, because it's fun. I'm like, no, it's not.
It is, though. Okay, so let me tell you. I wish you could hear my thought process.
That's why he loves this segment. He's just like, we're going to watch all this shit together.
I'm so pumped. Like, I wish that you could hear my thought process, because, like, while I'm watching these really bad movies, I'm both, like, critiquing them, laughing at them, laughing with them, and also being like, this is what I would have done better. Because, like, there are things, especially in, like, the romantic comedy genre, there are just mistakes that people be making that I don't know how you keep making that mistake, sir. Why is Lindsay Lohan in this movie?
Wow.
You know? Like, and it's not anything to say bad about Lindsay Lohan, because Lindsay Lohan is on the mend and she was phenomenal in comedy. There's just, like, some movies that, like, Just My Luck. What is this? Chris Pine? Nobody knows who you are. So I don't know what you're saying to me. You know what I mean? Anyway. So, one of the best things about Bring It On is the cast. Bring It On has such a funny cast. They have Kirsten Dunst, tiny vampire girl. She's super funny. They have Eliza Dushku, vampire slayer. Came here to kick some ass. They have Gabrielle Union, who never ages.
Just phenomenal woman in general. Just like...
Currently on Being Mary Jane.
28.
If you want to be upset, watch that movie. Watch that show. Because
she
Mary
was
Jane will upset you.
28 when she did this movie. And, like, she looks like she's fucking 20.
Yeah.
And, like, if not 18. And she looks exactly the same in Being Mary Jane. Like, like, perpetually 21 years old.
Like, she's beautiful. There's Jesse Bradford from Swim Fan. Swim Fan is a bad movie.
Do you think I know him from his Clock Stoppers?
Also a bad movie. He was the guy who was Romeo's best friend in the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. So yeah, there's that. He's adorable. The whole girl group, Black, is in this. And Black's music was so good. I remember, like, it coming on and I was just like, yes, I love Black's music. And then poor Natina Reed died in a car accident, I believe, and that just, like, really sucks. I hate talent gets taken away from us and we lose them. Shout out to Left Eye, love you girl. Shout out to Aaliyah, love you girl. You know what I mean? It's just sad when you lose people and you don't get to see who they become. My favorite thing about this movie is the pacing. The pacing of this movie makes it so that you just kind of forgive it for all the stupid shit that's happening. You just keep going, and, like, characters keep coming in and out, like Big Red. Big Red comes to, like, be a bitch. And I love the pacing. It just makes it so funny to watch. And I love that all of the men in this thing are basically horrible.
Yeah.
Almost all of the men, except for the gay one, are all, and Jesse Bradford's character, all horrible. There's the cheating bastard. There is the dad who doesn't care. There's the shitty little brother. There's the kind of womanizing finger up the poon. There is, you know, there's Sparky Pulaski. I can't remember his name. Who's throwing fingers as well. Fingers are a big theme in this movie.
These are spirit fingers.
But I also love that at the end of the day, the Toros lose.
I know, that's the best thing in the movie. Like, that the black girls are just generally better. Like, they're
genuinely better.
They're just actually better. And, like, even though the Toros put all this hard work in, the Clovers were just like, this is mine.
Yeah, like, we're here, like, we don't even, no, we're winning. We're bringing it. We brought it on, we won. Thank you.
On your own merit, you'd lose, so.
Yeah.
Hi.
And it's not, and I think, like, the thing is that the way, it's like, for me, sorry, I'm sick, and so I'm trying to fight through the phlegm. I'm trying. Ooh, that was gross. So my thing is that this is kind of like this huge I'm gonna get it during Netflix and chill. I'm probably gonna read a little bit too much into some things. Just so you guys know. In this segment, in this movie, it's kind of like a microcosm of how white mediocrity always wins by stealing from other cultures.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
You don't see that when you're 8.
Yeah, I know. And then they're like, they decide to be noble and good, which I was like, good job, white people. Thanks for doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, but... And then they still lose! Which is, if they were actually seasoned performers who gave a shit, maybe they would have done better. Maybe.
I mean, they did come in second, so it's not like they completely lost, but it is still just like #Black excellence.
Yeah. And I also want to thank this movie. This is the last thing. We have to wrap this segment up. But I want to thank this movie for making... Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Bringing that to the surface. You know, letting us close out the 90s and go into the new millennium with that and have all of these people in this beautiful movie dancing to it and having a great time.
That was a great credit scene.
And like an end credit scene can either be the most it could be the most boring shit end credits where you're just like, whatever, or you can throw it on top of something fun. Mm-hmm. Like, what else has a great end credit scene? Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels is one of the funniest, yeah, they do. Like, purest. I love it.
Both of them do.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so great. So, yeah. So, next week, I'm going to be telling you what we're going to be talking about for next week. So, you know, during the week, you can be, you know, on your Netflix grind and you can say,
oh, hey. Last note, I didn't know. I recently found out that Peyton Reed directed.
Oh, Peyton Reed, who he directed Ant-Man.
And is directing the next Ant-Man.
And I love it.
Part of the Marvel pit crew.
And, like, the reason that he works for Ant-Man is because he's experienced in shit like this. And he's marred in the shit of a cheerleading movie, which takes so much choreography of not only the people, but also the cameras. So, like, because of that, he's able to maneuver a film like Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. And that just makes him so much better.
Very excited. So what's our next week's Netflix and chill?
So Netflix and chill for next week is going to, you know, bring back childhood. We're going to be talking about The Little Rascals.
I figured. Oh my god.
I really want to talk about The Little Rascals.
Okay. I have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in like 10 years. Something
it's
like that.
Precious. These little kids are acting the shit out of themselves. And I just want all of the footage. All of it. Just all of it where they're fucking up. Because I just love that shit. So anyway, come back next week. Let's talk about The Little Rascals.
If you have anything that you would like us to watch on Netflix and chill, you can email us at mediarealness@gmail.com. And if you have any questions that you want to bring up during that time, you can email us too.
Yeah.
So our last segment is called Primetime Realness, in which we will be discussing something that we're watching this week. Sometimes it'll be something on air like Game of Thrones or Scandals in Season or whatever, like something that's on the network television shows. Or sometimes it'll be something that we are catching up on, like we recently watched My Mad Fat Diary.
Which was amazing.
And probably be next week's Primetime Realness. But this week, because there's been so much news, it's going to be Star Trek.
Yes.
Because the Star Trek Beyond trailer came out, there was a little teaser for the new CBS Star Trek, and I just recently got back into Star Trek. I was watching the original series over the summer, and then the fall season happened, so I didn't finish it. So I'm finishing it now, and I'm just remembering how much I love Star Trek.
And I'm not as in love with Star Trek, but not because of lack of trying, to be honest. It's because I just haven't, I really want to. I really want to take on that endeavor, but it's the kind of do you know how many seasons, how many shows, how many things?
All of the things.
So many. But I have, Nansa has, introduced me to a couple episodes because she said, you sit down, we're going to watch it, and you're going to love it. And I did love it.
I feel like Aaron's who I was before, because I feel like we all have our home core fandom. Mine is Harry Potter. Yours is...
mine is kind of the Percy Jackson situation. Also, I don't know, I'm kind of weird when it comes to fandom. Buffy is my original fandom. Mm-hmm. Which we'll be talking about Buffy later in life. Because someone needs to watch it.
I do need to watch it, I'm sorry. But Star Trek is my dad's core fandom. So I grew up watching the original series, but not really paying attention to it. And then finally... because my dad's rewatching the entire, like, all of Star Trek. Like, he rewatched the original series, he just rewatched Next Gen, he's rewatching Voyager and Deep Space Nine at the moment, and then he'll finish out with Enterprise. So I was like, you know what, let me give this a try. So I watched all the original series, and I was like really taken back by, one, how much I liked it, and then how progressive of a show it is. Like, even by today's standards, like, I don't have to look hard to find a person of color, to find a woman. Like, it's not even like, ooh, that person in the background. It's just like, no, she has a line. Like, it's like, and it shouldn't be like, oh, she has a line that makes it progressive, like, by today's standards.
Yeah.
Like, cause by today's standards, I'm still just like, ooh, she's in the background typing.
Yeah, there she is. See you, girl. Make that money.
But every episode there is at least like one person of color, one woman, like someone doing something like substantial. And like, I was just taken back by how progressive it is. And like,
and just like the like main crew is
people a statement of color, of like, it's a statement of like, it's a black woman in a position of authority. It's a Japanese man right after Pearl Harbor, and a Russian in the midst of the Cold War.
In the midst of the Cold War.
Like, it's supposed to be like, we're over this bullshit, like, everyone's equal. And they do like these things like where they use metaphor and allegory to talk about things that were happening in that time because they couldn't outright talk about them.
Yeah, especially like the use of different races and aliens. I think that is like one of the most well-used things in Star Trek, because not only are we showing diversity amongst planets, which is like kind of a joke, like you guys on Earth can't get your shit together, but we're working intergalactically, but whatever. I love that it's like specific kinds of aliens have specific kinds of talents, and they lend those talents to their positions. Just like people of color, people of minorities, gay people, everybody can bring their own experiences to their job and fucking kill it. I just want America to wake up.
That's what Star Trek is. So I genuinely just love Star Trek. I think it's an amazing show. And it's what I love most about it, that it's not like a space fight like Star Wars, which is my problem with the JJ movies. Like, it's a little too much Star Wars in my Star Trek, because Star Trek is really about like dealing with morality and like dealing with these political problems, and how do we deal with it? Because most of the time it's like the Enterprise, we can't contact the Enterprise, and so we have to deal with it ourselves.
Yeah.
And so how does this triangle, like how does this triangle of Spock, McCoy, and Kirk, which is Spock pure logic, McCoy pure emotion, and then them coming together as Kirk, deal with this situation?
Yeah. And I love that they use these three men as like this triangle of like a perfect decision. I kind of wish they'd use a woman sometimes, but I do love all of them.
Like, yeah, it's not perfect. Like, Star Trek is by no means, like, sometimes the 60s sexism definitely crops up in there, and those dresses are a little too short. But
I love, okay, so recently in one of the episodes that Anansi made me watch, there's a woman who is
Dax. It's in Deep Space Nine episode. It's the Tribbles episode where they go back in time and do
Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah.
Dax she's a kind of alien, a symbiote, right? Where there's like two people. She's a host, and then there's the symbiote who attaches to the host, and they live harmoniously. But the human host body, or is it human? Whatever. The host body dies, as host bodies do, but the symbiote lives on. So and they experience lifetime over and over and over again. And they get to keep and use all those memories. And this woman from this time period was also there in the Stardate that we're talking about. And
in Kirk Stardate.
And one of her comments is, she's just like, they're talking about how the wardrobe has changed in the Federation since then. And he's just like, oh, well, this wears blue now, and this wears yellow. And then she turns around and she's just like, and the women's outfits are way shorter.
And women wore less.
And women wore less. And everyone's like, yes, they sure did.
So did you watch the Star Trek Beyond trailer?
I did not.
Okay.
Because I don't care that much about the new
I wasn't that excited, and then I remembered that JJ's not directing.
Oh yeah, like that's something I wish you had told me that.
So I was like, I remembered that JJ's not directing because Star Trek Into Darkness just disappointed us.
Because Star Trek the 2009 one was actually really good, and I enjoyed it, and it broke a lot of rules about time and space and shit. But I accepted it because it was good enough. But
like, it works despite itself.
Yeah. But then Star Trek missing colon into darkness grammatically and cinematically
so goddamn
me up.
annoying. Oh my god, when I first found out that semicolon wasn't there on purpose, I was like, oh, so it's a trek into, like, you're not being funny. Put the goddamn semicolon.
Just don't be a dick. Like, JJ, stop it. And I have my own problems with JJ in general. First of all, the lens flare, we thought it was cute. Years ago. Now
I mean, just
done.
the, like, his, like, secret, super top secret box thing that's just so annoying, where it's just, like, at this point, you're just lying to us. Like, it's just like, he's not Khan, he's John, whatever the fuck his name was, which just doesn't matter because you're a liar, he's Khan.
He's White Khan. He's Benedict Khan. And I was not a fan of that story.
The whole story was just dumb. Like, it was just stupid. Like, the transporter without having to use a transporter pad is just like, so now we don't need spaceships is what you're telling us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, like, the cure to cure death, it was just like, oh, this is just... It's just JJ, I feel like JJ's good at... Like, the reason that Star Trek 2009 works is because JJ is amazing at characterization and casting. And that cast is great.
Yes.
Like... Chris Pine is great as Kirk. Zachary Quinto is amazing as Spock. Carl Urban is fucking McCoy.
Yes, Bones, very much. And he's Carl Urban, and he's funny, and I love him. Hi, Carl.
But, and so, like, you're setting up these dynamic storylines with characterization, and then the second one is just story, and he reuses all the time. Like, that's the problem, that people had with the Star Wars movie. It's just, like, you're reusing a storyline instead of creating your own, like, you're in your own timeline. You can do anything. You literally reboot, everything's restart.
You blew up an entire timeline. You can literally go anywhere.
And like, and then you
read fan fiction. There's some good ones.
And then you use a character like Khan, and then you don't even use any really of his backstory. Like, he could have just been John Harrison. He could have just been John Harrison. Like, it didn't have to be Khan. You didn't use him as Khan, and then you just whitewashed this amazing character that needs to be a person of color.
That's not who this man was. This man was just a pissed man. I was just like, why are you so mad? Never explained. So pissy.
So Star Trek Beyond, I'm like, it was written by, like, half written by Simon Pegg, and it's directed by the guy who did the Fast and the Furious movies, or like the latest Fast and the Furious movies. So I'm kind of like, and I really like the trailer. Like, we got to finally see what warp looks like. Justin Lin is the director. We got to see what warp speed looks like, and it's like you kind of see space like kind of collapsing around the spaceship, and I thought that was really cool. And it just seems like from what I'm getting, the starship gets attacked by Idris Elba's character, which is the villain.
And Flash, Idris Elba's in it, guys. Hey guys, Idris Elba's in it. I'm down for that.
And the Enterprise is completely destroyed, and everyone goes to their escape pods, and they're stuck on this planet, and they have to figure out how to get off this planet and work together. Which kind of harkens back to the original series.
Is there a semicolon?
There isn't a semicolon.
Why? Why?
There still isn't a semicolon, but...
Somebody get them a book of grammar. Just make it happen.
And Sophia Boutella, who is the girl with the...
Gazelle? Who has these legs of sword?
And Kingsman.
Who is awesome and beautiful and has
white...
that... She can rock the straight bang. That's so important.
She can rock the straight bang.
Because it's so hard. And when you can do it, you need to do it. You know?
She plays like this white alien who tries to help them. And I feel like the storyline from what I'm getting of the trailer harkens back to original series, where it's just like they are stuck on a planet, the Enterprise can't help them, how do they figure their way out? And like, so I'm excited to see how that is. The only thing is, like, I wish like they got 2 people of color cast and they're both playing aliens in makeup, and I'm just like, I just need sci-fi to give me more
people of color.
Yeah, because all like Zoe Saldana is seen as like this queen of sci-fi because she's been in Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star Trek, but Star Trek is the only movie in which you actually see her skin color, and that's because she's playing a horror and she has to.
Yeah.
And even as her, like, in her horror, like actually kind of sometimes upsets me, because I'm just like, even though she has a lot more lines than Nichelle Nichols did in Star Trek, like I feel like she is placed into this, like,
she's a romance.
Yeah, she is like, I'm glad that a black woman gets to be loved and like this is amazing by Spock, but she is his girlfriend and nothing else.
Yeah, like in Into Darkness, like I feel like her whole thing was just like
her romance thing. It was her.
Talk to me.
She's like, she stopped, like she's on a mission. She's just like, she like stops Kirk and is just like, no, I have to talk about this. And I'm just like, Uhura would never like talk about her personal issues during a mission. Like, no, that's not what this is. So I hope that she gets more time that's like not discussing her relationship with Spock.
And I hope they're separated. I hope that on this planet they're separated. And that we get to see her as a person by herself. Not with him. Even though Zachary Quinto, he's so fine.
He is very attractive.
I'm really attracted to Spock.
Oh, I'm so very attracted to Spock.
Not as attracted as she is, because there's some, like... there's those characters that you're just like, ooh. They, like dad, like some daddy things happen. I'm not that with Spock. Don't use that word find like that. You do. But yes, he's a very hot character. So I see that for Uhura, I do, but I want to see Uhura for Uhura. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see her defined by her relationship. I love that she's in a relationship and you get to see a black woman be loved. I just want to see her as herself as well. And just to wrap up a little bit, the CBS show, which CBS is fucking with me! Because it wants you to pay more money to see the only one show that they have. They realized that Supergirl was not bringing it in. They created their stupid CBS Access, which you have to pay like $6 or $7 a month just to watch CBS online, because they won't put their shows on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. They want you to pay for their own god subscription, and no one was fucking doing it. But now they're going to create this Star Trek show, and the pilot is going to air on... Exclusively. No, the pilot's going to air on TV, but then the show is going to be exclusively on CBS Access. And I was like, how fucking dare you? And I was going to write it off. But then... they got Brian Fuller as the showrunner, and I was like, fuck. And if you don't know anything about Brian Fuller he's the father of amazing shows. He knows how to put a beautiful show together. Sometimes they fail. Marketing, they're ahead of their time. Amazing. Look his shit up. We're going to talk about some of his shit later in life, because I already have that shit bookmarked. But Brian Fuller's awesome. Know this, and he's going to put his best foot forward. And he's, like, really great at, like, playing in other people's sandbox. Like, he's great at creating, like, and making it his own, but then using the source material. Mm-hmm. And I just, like... I'm just so upset that it's him, because I'm gonna have to watch this. And then he had the nerve to quote, he said, I want Angela Bassett to be the captain. That's who I would love to have. Captain Angela Bassett and First Officer Rosario Dawson. And I was like, the girl and the gumption. I was like, you give me Gina, Angela Bassett, Gina Torres, Rosario Dawson on the fucking bridge of a starship in Star Trek, and I'm going to be there. How dare you, CBS? How dare you make me take away my money to watch this one amazing show? And they're banking on, like, the Trekkies, and it's gonna fucking work, and I'm like... It's gonna work, like, you can't stop it. Like, they were like, they had the idea, and that idea just ran. And now we're here, and there's nothing we can do. We have to pay this money to watch this show. We just have to. If you like Star Trek in any capacity, the casting's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, oh hell, here we are. Here we go. Gotta go. And what's his face? The Roddenberry? Isn't he coming? They're the writer for Wrath of Khan, which is universally, like, the best Star Trek film. Like, it's just a great film in general. The writer is writing for this show as well, so and it's like he's they're getting it fucking done. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so upset. So upset. I'm excited. I'm just also upset because I want to see all of this, but I just like, I'm getting to that age where streaming things not legally is getting to the tedious point.
It is.
Like,
we are. I'm getting to that age where I'm
it.
just like, I really just need this to be available on the very many ways that I pay for television.
Exactly. I also want to talk really quick. How much time do we have? Are we good?
We're good. We have a little bit more time.
I also just want to talk about the 2 episodes I recently just watched of Star Trek. Okay. So the first episode was called Trouble with Tribbles.
Mm-hmm.
And the second episode was called Trials and Tribulations. And they're both about the same storyline, basically. But the second one is in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, the second one's from the Deep Space Nine season.
And the characters go back to this episode. Now, real quick, this episode is about little rat balls. These little puffy little monster ball thingies that have no faces, that are basically like rabbit's foot keychains that multiply a lot.
They're born pregnant, and all they do is make like really cute sounds that make everyone happy.
Yeah. And they're fluffy and cute and useless. And so Uhura goes to the space station for shore leave, and this crooked ass man who is me. There's a scene in this episode that is me completely. He like sells her this tribble, and he has no idea really what it is either. He's just like, tribbles are tribbles, take 1, take 2. And they get onto the Enterprise and they just start fucking multiplying. Like, by the end of the episode, they're in literally everywhere.
Like, Kirk goes to get his food and he's in his chicken sandwich and coffee.
And it is coffee.
And he's just like, I want them off the ship. He's just like, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many men it takes. Like, I want them off the ship now.
I need them gone. And so, but the political storyline is that they're trying to settle this planet, right?
This planet needs grain.
And they have this grain that will agriculturally settle this planet as part of the Federation. However, the bitch-ass Klingons are like, nah, that's my planet. You can't be planting these seeds in my planet. So,
well, that's what they think, but the Klingons are actually just there for shore leave.
Yeah, but, I mean, politically, that's how the Klingons feel. But, because that's how they feel. It comes up later. But then some of these Klingons come over here and they just want to party. They just want to get drunk. Come to the bar. They come to the bar, see? And then they be causing trouble. And they are talking shit about Captain Kirk. And you know little Chekhov.
Chekhov always ready. Chekhov always like, these hands, you can get them.
They were made in Russia by an old lady. And I
love that like distinction. Like in the original series, Chekhov is always just like ready to fight. And then in like the new Star Trek, he's just like, oh, cute little Chekhov. Like everyone just sees him as like precious baby with a flower crown.
Because the way Anton Yelchin is playing him is Precious Baby with a Flower Crown, and Anton Yelchin himself is a baby with a flower crown, and I love him so much. He's so cute, so weird, so cute. But anyway, Chekhov is like, do you want to catch these hands? And fucking
Scotty,
this Klingon guy is like, yeah, let's go. And Scotty's like, y'all, I'm here to drink. I had to leave my motherfucking room for this. I wanted to read my manuals. Nobody would let me read my manuals. So, what I need you to do is to not do this. And then he's just like, fuck you and your garbage ship.
And Scotty's like, do you want to correct?
Do you want to die?
I would need you to correct that statement. He's just like, I'm sorry, the Enterprise is garbage.
And Scotty is like, yo, face is garbage. Bam. Hits him in the face.
Big bar fight happens.
This huge bar fight happens. And the character who is me, which was the ratty salesman, he's like, this character, like, people are getting literally thrown around this bar. And he goes behind the bar, because the bartender goes to get security, I'm sure. And he goes behind the bar, and he just is like, well, I might as well have a few drinks, enjoy the show. Oh, okay, I'm gonna drink another one. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Oh, you threw him!
He's just drinking everything. And then he, takes 2 drinks, and he's about to leave, and the bartender comes back, and he takes the drink from his hand, and then he's like, I got another one in my pocket.
Bitch. Yes.
And so we find out that the guy who was ordering the Enterprise to watch over this grain, his assistant, is actually a Klingon spy.
And we find out because of those little useless fuzzballs, the tribbles.
Don't like Klingons.
For an unknown reason, they got a beef. And I really want to know what the reason is. Like, there's a problem between the tribbles and the Klingons. And I feel like there's a backstory that we have not explored. But I just want to explore that backstory someday. And, so we're like, ha, gotcha, bitch. And because he poisoned all the grain and all them tribbles were eating these grains.
And died.
And they all died. So flash forward into the future. And the same man, played by the same actor,
is being picked up by the ship. I can't remember the ship that Deep Space Nine uses. But he's picked up and they think that he's just a normal dude because he's been genetically altered to look like a human. And he uses one of the orbs from the Bajoran culture, which is the time orb, and he goes back in time because he wants to fix this problem that happened because Kirk fucked up his life, so he plants a bomb in the tribble.
Yeah. But the thing about it is how salty he is about it. He's like, they're gonna build a statue of me in the Hall of Warriors with a tribble in one hand and Kirk's head in the other. You're welcome. Klingon Empire.
It's just a cute episode because it was for the 30th anniversary where like all like the actors are basically put into the scenes from Trouble with Tribbles, and
they do it so well. Like they color corrected it so that it had this like
the 60s grain,
60s, 70 glow, and I loved it. And like all of the characters were styled to that time as well, and I just love when you can style a bitch that way. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, Jax's hair looks so cute. Like everyone had like the slick kind of wet look, like.
And then Slash, the Prince of Dorne, was there, being cute and slim and cute. I was just like, I didn't realize it was him at first, and I was just like, that's a cute man. He's so cute and cute. And then it's just like, that's Doran. And I was like, no!
And then they save the day. They get the tribble that has the bomb, and then Sisko breaks all protocols and has to get Kirk signature.
He's like, I need you to sign this, this duty thing. Just shut up, sign it. I love you.
And at the time, police is questioning Sisko is just like, yeah, I would have done it too. It's fine.
Yeah, they're just like, bro.
It's Kirk. It's Kirk. We all get it.
We get it, girl. We get it. But had it been me, I'd have been like, I don't know. All you guys got to sign this. Protocol. Bureaucracy, man. Just Ahura.
Speaking of how important Kirk is, shout out to Star Trek Continues. I just recently watched one of their newest episodes called The White Lotus, and it was about like all of the women that Kirk's ever loved in his life, and they made up a character for when he was on the Farragut, and the space ghost, space cloud thing that he was chasing that like killed all the crew, and like he loved a woman from there, and it was a black woman, and I was like, shout out, Star Trek Continues. Like it was just so beautiful and important for me to see Kirk love a black woman. It just made me really happy. So shout out to you guys.
Yes.
So I think that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I had a great time. I'm like super hot and need more Dayquil or NyQuil or both. And I can't deal with it. This is Erin signing off for our first structured episode of Media Realness. And this week, I am serving the Wicked Witch of the West realness as I am melting from the inside out and probably made of mucus. So, yeah, that's how I'm rolling down the runway this week.
And this is Anansa, and I'm serving that Amy Poehler realness and just pretending like I'm not sick and just doing cartwheels in my head.
Nope, 2012.
So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at mediarealness@gmail.com, and you can follow us at Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook, and Instagram at Media Realness are the same. You can see all the things we get up to. We'll be live tweeting from Media Realness for Game of Thrones and stuff like that. So go follow us.
Yeah, come on over.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.